Hey, welcome to Raw Speaks Life. My name is Rachel, and today I want to share with you how I've been able to overcome many of my fears and anxieties. Okay, so first I want to tell you that fear is something that has really actually driven my whole life and prevented me from doing so many things with my life. But there came a point, actually recently, that I've learned that fear is actually just debilitating you from doing what really matters with your life. And it not only affects you, but affects people around you. So I want to tell you a story about something that happened to me when I was young. I was probably around 9 or 10 years old. And I was at an amusement park with my family. And at that time, I was terrified of roller coasters. Like, really terrified to the point where I thought that I got so many butterflies in my stomach when it came to movement going downhill, that I felt like that my stomach would fill up with butterflies to the point of exploding, like bursting out. So imagine me with my family, which all of my family loves roller coasters. Imagine that. So we were going in line, and there was this one ride. I think we were at Hershey Park, and there was the log flume ride, where basically you just go up, 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 go around, and then down, and then splash. You basically are in a log, and you go up and you get splashed on at the end. It's basically like a little river waterfall that you're going down. And so I remember very vividly that day that I was so scared. Like, as we were going in that line, like, my mom was just like, it's no big deal. It's like the smallest ride there is. Like, anyone, you don't have to be a certain size to go on this ride. It's for any age. But for some reason, that one dip, it just had me, like, my whole body had this like adrenaline rush full of fear inside. I just could not get it out. It was like, as we were approaching closer and closer to the destination of like actually entering in that ride, I would see the ride go up and around and down, up and around and down. Every single time I saw it, it was just like getting worse and worse. I started thinking about, like, what if I get water up my nose? What if it covers me and I drowned? And what if, my stomach just bursts because of all the butterflies that I get, and I just can't handle it. And it got to the point where I was so full with these kinds of thoughts that I actually, I just started crying in the line, and I was like, Mom, I can't do it. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. And I just ran away. I left the line. I left my family, and I was actually too young to be by myself. I was still I think I was under 10 years old. And my mom, she had to go back with me, and she was actually quite angry that why I was the only one that couldn't go on that ride, and everyone else was fine. But because I had that fear, it prevented her also, and other people from being able to go on that ride. She had to leave the line that we had been waiting on because of my fear. So it actually affected her time there, because I couldn't go on any of the rides that others wanted to go on. And I mean, fast forward now, I actually have overcome that fear, and I love roller coasters. It's one thing that brings me really so much excitement. And I actually watched this video about Mel Robbins. She made a video about the secret to overcoming your fear and anxiety. And it was very interesting. I took some notes on that, because she said that actually fear and excitement have the same effects on your body. It gives you the same adrenaline rush. But the thing that's different is that what it does to your brain. See, so fear actually prevents you from doing the things that you maybe want to do. But then excitement, it will make you go full throttle in excitement to do that. You are going to run to do that thing. You just can't wait for it. But it's just a matter of the thoughts, what is going on through our brain during this time when we're thinking about that thing that we're doing. is it we're thinking about like all the negative things, the bad things, like, oh, what could happen, like what will people think of me? Or are we thinking about like, oh, this will be so much fun, or this is gonna change someone's life, or this is like, oh, imagine the opportunities I'll get from this. Like, what are we thinking about during this time? And that is what is actually driving us to act upon that adrenaline rush that we're feeling. Like, if we are feeling those negative thoughts, then our brain is messaging that, like, the signs of fear, and it's telling us not to do those things. But then if we feel it's going to be fun and exciting, we associate like positive things with this thing, then of course we're going to feel comfortable and want to do it. But how can we actually switch from that fear to that excitement about something? How can we change that psychology of our brain to think like into doing something is a good thing for us, instead of thinking only about all the negative and the bad things? See, if I would have thought when I was in that line with the roller coaster about how much fun it was going to be like everyone else, and just think like, wow, this is going to be a great memory, we'll be able to take a picture in the boat, and then I can have a souvenir afterwards. But then no, none of those things came to my mind. It was only all those fear triggering thoughts, to the point where I absolutely couldn't do it. And I think about like how many other things in my life that I've been hindered from doing because of these fears that I've had. And for you too, it's actually, we have to realize that we have the power to change our thoughts about it. So, I mean, of course, fear it's important in our life. Like, it's something that will actually prevent us from getting into trouble. It keeps us safe. We should listen to our fears, and we can't just get rid of fear altogether. This is something that we need, but we have to know the difference between the fears that are actually hindering us and limiting us from reaching our potential, for taking those opportunities that are given to us. Like, if our fears are preventing us from actually doing something great in our lives, it could make us lose the experiences that have been given to us. We lose the opportunities. So I want to share with you, I guess, what I've used some of the strategies that Mel Robbins said, and what she recommends is that you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you count down. I think that's what she said. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you have an anchoring thought, and then you just get excited. You tell yourself like why you're excited to do this thing. And actually, after I re-listened to that video again, actually before making this video, and just listening to that, it fired me up. It gave me so much energy, because when I thought about why am I making these videos? Why am I doing this YouTube channel? The whole purpose of it is because I want to inspire someone. I want to change someone's life. It's not like some type of work or job. I'm not looking to just gain money. No one is telling me to do this, but this is only because I know that maybe there's something that I can share with someone that could actually make a difference in their lives. And for you too, what is it that you're actually afraid of? Make a list of those fears, and maybe some of them are good fears for you, but others, what are the ones that are truly limiting you? Maybe it's public speaking, or maybe it's this interview that you have to for a job, or maybe it's something like you want to go to a certain university, but you don't think that you're equipped to do it, or you'll be judged because maybe you're not as smart as someone else, you're afraid to speak. There's so many different fears that we have, and it's usually coming from that fear of those thoughts that we're not good enough, we can't do it, or it could be fear of the pain. There could be pain or loss associated. We're afraid of losing something. So it's really important to actually get to the root cause of that fear. Why? And maybe it had something to do with past associations of something that it triggered, maybe a negative experience that now has caused you to have fear of doing that thing. And it could be something like embarrassment, like maybe you were you said something and it brought you a lot of embarrassment through maybe while public speaking. And so then it just completely ruined your confidence in yourself to speak in front of other people, because you think like maybe every time will be like that. But actually, it's not gonna be like that every time. And the thing is that you need to, you have to actually put effort into trying and doing things and keep practicing and practicing over and over again. And through these continual practicing times, the efforts that you make, the experiences that you have, you actually build up the confidence, and that fear that you had slowly starts going away. I know so many people that have had a fear of flying on an airplane, but then when they actually experience it and they have to do it many, many times, then that fear goes away and they actually really enjoy it. It's a time that they can just relax and look forward to a time that they can a future trip that they're going on. So it's all about what you are thinking about. What do you associate? What are the results that will come out of it? You can't think about the negative things, about the what ifs, what if it turns out badly? You can't think about those things. You have to think about your purpose of why you're doing it, why you want to do it, and why it will be better for you if you go to do it. And think about the people that it affects around you. Actually, this is one thing that really got me, is because when I started this YouTube channel, I was so afraid of speaking in front of the camera. I had no confidence in myself. I would stutter in front of the camera all the time. I can't even tell you how many retakes every single time I record something. But when you are really confident and passionate about what is in your heart to say, then you no longer have that fear. You no longer stutter on your words. You really, you have this passion inside you to share it. So maybe for you, there's something also, I believe that every single individual has their own story, their own testimony. And one big fear is people are afraid to share about their weaknesses and being vulnerable, opening up to other people about maybe mistakes that they've made, or things that they've done in the past that they're not really proud of. But it's actually sometimes really important to share about those weaknesses and be comfortable opening up about them, because if we are always just speaking about the good things in our life, painting the best picture, people will not feel comfortable opening up to us, or maybe it's just they won't be able to relate to us because we're not showing the full picture. We're just showing the good things, and no one actually has a perfect picture of their life. No one is perfect. So it's really good to actually be comfortable with your weaknesses and be willing to talk about them and share about them, because when you do that, it makes other people much more relatable and comfortable to talk to you. And we just have to get over that fear of, what are they gonna think about me? What if it changes their perspective? Okay, well, if it changes their perspective or view of you, maybe they aren't the best people to keep around in your life. But if they are there to help you and to understand you, or maybe they're someone that actually really needs this advice, then you could be the person that could change their life just by sharing your struggle and maybe how you were able to get over that struggle. So I really hope that you do not let these fears hinder you any longer, and that you can take Mel Robbins' advice and do the 5-second countdown and think about those anchoring thoughts. Think about the things that are going to strengthen you, your mindset, your mentality, and just go after your dreams and live up to your full potential. I think that's the one thing that is my biggest fear now, is that what if I don't live up to my full potential? What if I end up wasting my life doing something that's meaningless and I am not proud of my life? No, I do not want to end my life not being proud of what I've done. So that's why we have to challenge ourselves. We have to punch fear in the face and we have to just go for it, and we have to actually enjoy the challenge of facing our fears, because we're always going to have fear. We have to just suck it up and realize, like, yeah, we're always going to have fear. It's not going away anytime soon. But we have to see, like, okay, facing this fear is the opportunity to actually change my life for the better. And it's going to bring more greater opportunities for me. We have to overcome these fears. So anyway, I really hope that this inspires you and to make that list of those fears that have been hindering you, and start using that little trick I shared with you today, and let me know in the comments if it helps you, and also what are some of your fears, and what has been a fear that you just have not been able to overcome yet. I would love to know if there's anything that you've been struggling with for a long time, and that maybe, I'm pretty sure that many others can relate. So please share below in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, and if you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. All right, I will see you in my next video.